Taking a look at the British pound and the New Zealand dollar. Now, let's start with the monthly. So here, pretty much on this downtrend ever since 2006, and here getting closer to the trend line. So possible move to the downside here. Could break the support line and then go even lower. Here still a little bit of room to the trend line on the monthly. So here on the weekly, here currently at this resistance line, or maybe this bigger area here, which is what we could look out for at the moment. On the daily here, basically, so a pullback now, move to the upside here and here now. What could happen is move here within this yellow zone, what we saw here, and then here see a pullback. Well, this could still take a couple of months until we reach that. But now the small time frames here, the forward chart. So here is kind of a bit of a resistance zone being formed. Here somewhere would be a support level line, and so here is the previous support and resistance line. And here kind of an uptrend is being formed. Which means we could here see this breakout and then start this movement here on the bigger time zone. Which, if that were to happen, we could be a buyer on the dips here and a seller on the highs. But for now, if we take a look at the forward chart here, maybe you could see still a rejection once again and pull lower here. Since we are at the trend line, it is not that likely, but it still could happen here at the resistance zone. Kind of a rejection, but here the CCI is actually trending towards the upside, and we are close to the support area. So here we could see this breakout. The 1 hour chart here, kind of not really a bearish sign for now, but as I said, we could still do a turnaround at some point. 30-minute chart kind of looks the same. 5-minute chart here, still trying to move higher. So if we can find here some kind of bearish sign within this yellow zone, then I would go for short here. So the trade would look something like this. Could even target lower, but maybe this line here, then the risk reward would be even higher. Something like this. But this would be the target. Although keep in mind that here is a trend line that we didn't break, and which means we could pull back only to here, to around this support line here, which would also be possible for a smaller trade. So this was British pound, New Zealand dollar. Now taking a look at the British pound, Japanese yen. Here on the daily, we still haven't broken below this support line. Here is kind of consolidation movement going on at the moment, and this could here turn out to be maybe a head and shoulders pattern, and we could then move lower, since here if we go this trend line here, we saw this break below this trend line, or kind of out of this trend line, and now it looks like we are going for a retest. And if we get a rejection here, then the trade would be here to short the market. If we check the 4-hour chart here, at the moment we had here a smaller resistance zone somewhere around here. Let me quickly change the color. So here is kind of a smaller resistance area, and we could here see well, kind of we broke a little bit past this downtrend line, so it looks like we could here hit this zone and then going lower. So the bigger trade would be this one here, something like this, and then target all the way down to, depends how far we will fall. I would just let the market continue to the downside then, but it is possible that we could here also see a move back and then maybe head higher, since we had here this move again once, twice, 3 times, so before we actually fell or kind of came lower from this position, so we could still continue to trade within this support area and the smaller resistance line here, the blue line. So the 1-hour chart here is looking something like this. So if you see here some kind of rejection candle as we saw here, then I would here go for the short as well, and try to short something like this. Stop loss slightly below here, and taking a look at the 30 minutes. Well, for now the trend is up here, so we could here stick around for a bit, but if we break here lower, then I'll go for the short. 15-minute chart, well, not much going on for now. The market isn't opening until a couple of hours, so for now it looks like there won't be too much movement, but this is one of the 2 options for the GJ. So let's check the New Zealand Australian dollar. So quickly taking a look at the weekly here, this big resistance line we couldn't break, we went low. You kind of, depending where we draw this trend line, usually should be here, but now here this support and resistance zone, so this would be the weekly. Here on the daily, going back and forth between here and there, so possible rally to this smaller resistance line, and then see a rejection here, or we could rally a little bit higher and continue this move here. But here taking the look at the 4-hour chart, so here was this kind of downtrend, and here we saw the first breakout, and now here is the second one happening, which means here we could actually see a move to this trend line eventually. But if we draw here this line and this one here, we see a bearish wedge or channel here being formed. So the possible next option would here be kind of a shorting position, which would look something like this. So here somewhere I would be looking for a shorting option. But depends how close you want to put your stop loss, either above this high here or this one. Target would be here down this trend line, something like this. So maybe the stop loss could be a little bit smaller since there is the possibility to go towards this green line, so maybe this high here. So if we can reach here this trend line and resistance zone, I would look here for short. So this would be the trade for New Zealand USD. Here maybe a little bit lower with the stop loss, and well, this was here again a short GBP Japanese yen as well.